Good day, grade 9 learners. Welcome to your English literature class. As you know, our set work we are doing is Spud. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to show you the trailer of the movie Spud. We are going to watch the movie at the end of our set work. So this is just the trailer for something to look forward to at the end of the book. I'm just going to put the volume up for you boys so you can hear. Okay. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, students. Okay, so now we're going to start with our lesson. So I'm just going to share the PowerPoint with you. Okay, I'm just going to move myself over here. So, Spud, okay, the author and the setting. As you know, the author of the novel is John van der Ruit. John van der Ruit wrote this book actually about his life at school, and this is a retelling of all the events that took place, and it's a very nice coming of age novel. The setting, it's South Africa in the 1990s, shortly before the nation became a democracy. Two major events are about to happen: the release of Nelson Mandela and John Milton's first year of high school. You will realize from reading the pre-reading is the main character or the protagonist in the novel. The school he's attending is an elite boys-only private school in KwaZulu-Natal, and as you boys will know, he's also a boarder at the school. Okay, so what I want for you now is I've emailed that character sheet to you. So what I want you to do is stick it into your books. This character sheet is going to be used throughout our reading of the set work. So any facts or information that we find new about the characters, we will be adding onto this character sheet. Okay, so now we're just going to do a short recap because, as you know, you were supposed to read the first 9 pages of the novel. So I just want a short recap of what you boys found about the novel. Okay, so the first question is who has been mentioned in the novel thus far. So what you're going to do is you're going to switch on your mic for me, and then you can answer this question.
Hi, sir. So the 3 characters I remember the best from my reading is the Gov, Rambo, and of course you can't forget Mad Dog. Those were the 3 that really resonated.
Those are the 3 that stuck out for you the most. Okay, that's
good. Obviously Spud is the main character, but those are the
Spud
3.
is our protagonist in the novel. Okay, good. Okay, then what do you know about these characters? What did you find out about these characters when reading?
Right, so the Gov is the English teacher, and he's really kind. Spud actually he builds a quite a decent relationship from the get go with the Gov, from what I remember.
Yes,
Rambo is kind of the leader of the boys in his dorm, in Spud's dorm,
yes.
and then Mad Dog is crazy. He's
He's,
quite
he's quite a
he lives
wild
up to his name.
student, eh? Some of you boys, I know some of you to also be a bit wild and crazy like that. So he's someone that you're gonna go fond to like in the novel. Okay, so the next one. How would you feel if someone nicknamed you based on your physical insecurity? Obviously, we all boys are boys, but how would you feel if one of your peers nicknamed you based on your physical insecurity?
So obviously because it's about your insecurity, that's gonna make me feel like
Mm.
marginal, feel like really small. Obviously, if it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of nickname, that'd be different. But this is obviously the question says it's about your physical insecurity, so obviously it's gonna make you feel very small, very marginalized, very very foreign to your surroundings, I suppose.
Yeah, so you almost feel like you don't belong.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that gets me to my next question. Can you relate to the sense of belonging theme in Spud?
So definitely, I think obviously because it's set in an all boys school and we obviously in an
You
all
know,
boys school,
oh yes,
so that's something that we can definitely relate to. So I think especially boarders, they grow up in like the boarders obviously stay together in the dorms. They can definitely like relate to this like theme of belonging. They basically grow these bonds. So yeah, I would definitely say that I can relate definitely.
definitely. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to just recap or provide a little bit more content on the characters, well, the main characters that we've come to see in the novel thus far and what you boys should know. Um, so we're going to start with Spud's family. So John Milton's family. So his mom, you obviously know is Spud's mother, who is an alcoholic but doesn't admit to it. She constantly threatens to move out of the house. Then you have his dad, who is Spud's father, a washerman who is also an alcoholic. He's seen to be completely deranged and fearful. Wombat is Spud's grandmother. That's the nickname given to her. You boys would have found that out. She's delirious, senile, and also drunk. Encourages Spud to spread his wild oats. Okay, and obviously you boys would have come familiar with the Crazy Eight, which is going to be throughout the whole novel, who you guys are going to relate to. So John Spud Milton is the lead character, the protagonist. Robert Rambo Black is the self-nicknamed and self-appointed leader of the group. Alan Boggo Greenstein is a very strange boy. He's Rambo's friend. Charlie Mad Dog Hooper is a strong and mediocre boy. Henry Gecko Barker is a thin boy who's always getting sick. Sydney Fatty Smithison Scott, he lives up to his name. He's a fat boy who's always eating. Vern Rainman Blackadder is an incredibly weird boy, as you boys would have found out in the novel so far. He often pulls out his own hair. And then Simon Brown is an arrogant boy who we've always found who's very good at cricket. So all the cricketers, you would be very you're warm to this character, and he is hated by Spud. Okay, and then what we're going to find out more about is the teacher, who is Mr. Edley, nicknamed the Gov, as you boys will know. He's the English teacher. He's hilarious and brilliant. Everybody loves him. I think he's going to become one of your favorite characters in the novel, and which you boys can really relate to. Okay, so now the reading activity. So what I want you to do is get your ebooks out that you have been provided to you. And we are going to read page 12 to 14 of the entry titled Wednesday, 19th of January. So I'm going to just get someone to read these pages for me. Do I have any volunteers? Yes, my boy, you can switch on your mic and then you can read those pages.
Right, thanks, sir. Can I begin?
Yes, you can.
Okay, Wednesday, 19th of January, 5:50. Vern wet his bed during the night. His desperate attempt to change his sheets before the rising siren was foiled by Charlie Hooper, nicknamed Mad Dog, returning from an early morning bat hunting expedition with his catapult. Mad Dog hasn't spent much time in the dormitory and seemed to do a lot of hunting. Mad Dog stole the yellow stained sheets and hung it up from the rafters out of Vern's reach before raising the alarm. When a snivelly gecko returned from the phone room after a chat with his mom, he discovered Vern's soiled sheet hanging above his bed and charged down the bathroom with his head over his mouth. Mad Dog and Rambo exchanged a high five and some raucous laughter. 6:30, roll call. Bert referred to Vern Blackadder as a Vern Slack Bladder, which dissolved the entire roll call into chaos. The hysterical backslapping and chanting was brought to an abrupt halt by a high-pitched cry from spare room, who looked like he was quite keen to slaughter someone. 6:40. Our first lesson was English with an extraordinary teacher called Mr. Eddie, nicknamed the Gov, a nickname he said he was given when he was a boy at the school. He has a very posh English accent and strides around with a walking stick, swearing like a maniac. His long legs and bulging eyes make him look like a giant praying mantis. He had some spectacular outbursts. Within 5 minutes, he threatened to shoot off Boggo's head with a shotgun. The highlight of the class was when he threw a pile of Henry James novels out of the window and called the author a boring faggot. We all applauded. He bowed and then told us to get lost. I like the guy, and strangely enough, he seems to like me. After class, he asked me to stay behind. His great bulging eyes studied me closely over the top of his old-fashioned horn-rimmed glasses. So, Milton, he said, welcome to Paradise Lost. With that, he roared with laughter and told me that anybody named after the greatest writer that ever lived must have fine literature in his blood. He presented me with a play called Waiting for Godot, written by an Irishman called Samuel Beckett. He prodded the book with his finger and said, nothing happens, old Jonah, but it's a rating blast. Now piss off, it's breakfast time. I couldn't help smiling. It's the first time I've been called by my name since I've been here. Everyone else calls me Spud because my willy is tiny and my balls haven't dropped yet. Made a mental note to check out this after John Milton character and his book Paradise Lost. 8:30. Mad Dog told me that I was in his class for maths. I followed him down a series of corridors until we reached our classroom. The teacher was a kindly looking man called Mr. Rogers. Unfortunately, it turned out that it was the remedial class. Mad Dog snickered into his rucksack as I packed my things. Excused myself and sprinted around in a blind panic looking for my maths class. All the buildings and quadrangles look so similar that it's easy to become completely disorientated, which I did. 10 minutes ticked by on my old Renix stopwatch. I felt a huge lump in my throat. I was about to start sobbing. I wanted to go home. I wanted to run out of the school and keep going until I saw those old rusted gates and the giant acacia tree in the front garden. Suddenly, there was PJ Latuli marching along the corridor, looking important. Half sobbing, half panting, I asked him for directions. He patted my shoulder and led me to my maths classroom. As I entered, I was faced with the most shocking silence. I stared at the dark figure standing at the blackboard and recognized the scowling face of the miserable-looking teacher from breakfast yesterday. He grinned, a mean, thin-lipped grin, then said in a low, cold voice, Milton, you're late. Report to the staff toilets after lunch. With a flick of his academic gown, he continued with his lesson on the basics of algebra. The teacher's name is Mr. Sykes, nicknamed Psycho. 16:20. After spending the afternoon cleaning the staff box with a scrubbing brush, an old pair of underpants with the name Brett Ballbag scribbled on them with an ink marker, I returned to a completely deserted house. My heart sank. What did I miss this time? Then I saw the message on the notice board. Touch rugby, 6 o'clock on Trafalgar.
That is well read, my boy. Okay, so now, students, what we can see is there is a new character, the maths teacher, Mr. Sykes, who's the nickname Psycho. So I hope you jotted down in your character sheet the new character that we've now come across. And then we're going to get to know a lot more once we carry on with the novel. Okay, but well done. Okay, so now quiz time, which is also going to be your homework. So what I've done for you boys is I've created a link on Google Docs. It's here on the slide. You're just going to copy and paste it in your browser, and this will allow you to access the quiz on Google Docs. And once you're done with that, you're going to email it to my email address, and I'm going to mark it for you, and I'll give it back to you in the next lesson. But thank you, students, for this lesson. I hope you are excited as I am to teach you about the set work that we are doing, and it's something that you boys are going to really relate to and enjoy. Have a good afternoon, boys. I'll see you in the next lesson.